The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 WGBC invites you to the talk of all the towns in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Candace, and welcome.
Yes. Hope y'all are having a great morning.
Imagine today being 1993 and it's the first time you've ever seen a computer. That's what I'm going through at the moment is I have broken equipment. I had a major that operates everything just go away into the wild blue yonder. So we're manually doing things. It may take me a second to reach buttons and make things happen that normally are smooth. So bear with us as we get by with this as the IT department will roll in just a little while to get that cured.
Yeah. As they say with the hashtags, be patient.
Yes. Anybody feel like it's Velvet Elvis Day? I do.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I got my velvet shirt on.
I cannot tell you the many portraits that hang in houses right now with Elvis wearing that same colored.
I know. Do you remember the velvet?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about? The velvet pictures that everybody used to have.
Yeah, that's why I was teasing you about it.
Looked like they were painted.
But you don't see that anymore, do you? Isn't that a thing of the past?
Velvet pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see a whole lot of that.
Or we'll have to go
I
to the
bet you
flea
could-
market.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet you could find one in the flea market for sure. We might have to bring that back one day.
Things that have
You need
disappeared.
a velvet Elvis picture up in the studio.
Look, y'all, I love me some Elvis. It's like he was the king when it come to music.
Yeah, he was. Still is.
I agree with you on that. But yeah, I don't have anything Elvis in here.
Yeah,
I need
I guess
more.
I'm just missing the big collar, big butterfly, or what'd you call those?
Do your lip a little bit. How else? Yeah, that's it.
No, like I got an eye twitch when I do that. It's just ain't as good as when Elvis did it.
Elvis, we tease about some of the things that he did, but man, what a great guy he was. And if you really don't know much about Elvis, and I know the movie introduced him to a whole new generation that was not aware of who he was, but go back and look at it. It was a little bit of every type of music that influenced that boy. Good at what he did.
Dancing.
Ooh.
Look what he did for dance.
It was so bad they had to move the cameras up, not let you watch it.
Yeah.
Well, the big concern this morning as you're waking up, as of nothing will be moving until 9 a.m., all air traffic has been ceased in the United States.
Yes, which means delays when they do get everything back up and running.
I don't think we've seen this. Am I right? Am I over guessing here since 9/11 that everything was grounded in the United States? Am I wrong on that?
I don't know. I don't think you're wrong. I think that's correct. And at the time when this happened, it was in the middle of the night, and they said that there was still, I guess as of this morning, like 800 and something flights were in the air that had not landed yet, which is very scary.
It is. So now, we will never really know the truth. Y'all know that. I'm just going to be honest with you. You will get something released that says whatever the glitch was, but we will truly never know what went on. Did someone try to hack it? We don't know. But if they did, you'll probably never know about that because they wouldn't want to spook anybody.
Yeah, I would imagine. They said a lot of these planes that are still in the air are probably like FedEx or UPS or something like that. They figure is what they said on the news this morning. But I guess there's no way to.
Flight aware
really
should be
know.
an interesting thing to watch this morning as see what's left in the air as they try to get down and then when takeoff resumes.
So if you just took a flight and you're home, drinking your coffee and watching TV, just be glad that you're not stuck in the middle of all that. It'd be bad to be in an airport because, like they said, this is going to carry over. Even when they do get everything up and running, it's going to carry over into days probably because they're going to have everybody, start their flights back at the same time, but they can't let everybody go, obviously, at the same time. So
That's right.
it's going to be a mess.
Winnie said something about yesterday at work. Facebook had an issue yesterday. If you watched from Facebook, I don't know what happened there. The comments weren't showing. It was just a weird day. It does that from time to time. You can also watch us on YouTube. You can join us here on Fox 30 if you're watching from a television. Great big screen. Those are fun. And also, back up if you want to go a little bit further and go, well, none of that works on my phone. Grab your Twitter account. You can also watch us on Quitter. Quitter. And I'll get tongue-tied if I try to say any more about that. I'll just leave that alone. So major concerns as we start watching the flight pattern. You're not going to see anything taking off probably except military things. I'm sure that they're patrolling in areas this morning. A lot of folks watching. Colorado's there. Thank you, Janet. We'll watch that. Clark County joining us. Patsy, how are you?
Yeah.
So good to see y'all from each area that you're doing. House community joins us.
Yeah.
Anitra.
Wayne and Dolores Roberts, good morning to y'all. Hope y'all are having a good day so
Good
far.
folks there.
Jackie Thompson, good morning. Terry Shelton.
Yes, Terry said the Navy jet's still flying. They're protectors. They do help us out there.
Yeah.
And you're right. We do depend upon computers a little too much from time to time.
Yeah.
They're-
Technology is a good thing in some instances, but I think we get a little too dependent.
Yeah, it becomes a habit because it's
trustworthy.
very convenient.
Yeah. It too can have a glitch, and obviously.
My life is ate up with glitches over here.
Yeah, I just like the old method, and I don't know why we can't go back to the write everything down,
Yeah.
have that hard copy. You know?
Yeah, you try that. You'll be behind in everything you do. All that. There's just no way anymore. I was watching MASH this morning before I started this. I was in here typing everything, getting ready, and I looked up. MASH was on, and Radar was digging in a filing cabinet. You ain't gonna see them no more either.
Yeah.
Gone are the days of the filing cabinet.
But if everybody did have to write everything, I know it would slow everything down. But isn't that what we need? Don't we need to slow down and just kind of take a breath?
I don't know, Candace. I don't like writing. I'm gonna stick with that computer.
Remember the days of having to stop and use the payphone because you had to make a phone call?
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
It was cold out there.
It
Now
was.
I can sit in my car where it's nice and warm.
Yeah.
Again, some things change, some things are good, and some things are not so great.
Yeah.
But we move forward with everything that's going on. A few things that happened overnight. Do you live in Newton County? Oh, boy. I don't know if y'all have had a chance to read the story about what's going on. Twin States News covered this, and over the tax office there, some confidential information got put online, like maybe your bank account information, maybe your Social Security number, and it stayed out there a long time.
Long enough for
County?
people to write it down.
Yes. People will do bad things with the information. What I'm reading is maybe a few hundred people. I'm not sure. You might better check with the tax office there. They have a brand new tax assessor. She just came in. She was not there during all of this, and they're trying to get to the bottom of it.
So I guess would they have a way of knowing who was affected and who wasn't?
I would think
you
so.
Ask. Okay.
And with that, usually you have to kind of protect those people of what could happen over the next 3 or 4 years.
Just monitor
Yeah.
your bank account, monitor, things like your credit report. I mean, if people have your Social Security number, possibly they could open up an account somewhere. They could do all kind of stuff.
Yeah, people always after that
Credit
information.
cards.
So we'll watch this, and if we find out more out of Newton County on it, we'll pass it along. But something to be concerned about. And
Yeah.
if it does bother you, call up to the office and talk to them about it. Was I one of the ones that had my information put out there? It'd be good to know.
Yeah.
That's the way I would handle it. Stonewall, are y'all watching us this morning? Y'all look out. It's been numerous after numerous car break-ins. And just like what we keep saying in the Meridian area this happened, Collinsville has been, no one is immune to this, to where people are going through cars, but it's been night after night in the Stonewall area. We talked to our friends at Clark County Hot Topics. They're aware of it and put out that little warning there to lock your doors and don't leave valuables within sight on the seat because there's people that don't want to work.
Right.
There ain't another way to word it, is it?
Yeah, I wouldn't leave my valuables in there at all. I mean, because even if they do get in the car, they're going to be looking in the glove box. I mean, the most, obvious places. Your little, console.
If you want to learn more, talk to the police chief, Kent Stevens. He'd be glad to tell you more about that and ways to deter criminals. They've got all types of things that can help you if you talk to officials. It's good. Never, ever leave your Elvis 8-track tape because it won't be there in the morning. You put it on your dash, watch what happens.
That's right.
Got to keep that Elvis head, y'all. Let's see here. We'll talk about a few things that's going on in the community here. We had several fender benders yesterday as we look about there. We had one Highway 19 South. As you know, you're going down, come under the bridge where all that work has been going on. And right there amongst everything, you're sitting there. You can see Chili's, but you can't get to it. You can see Chick-fil-A out to your right. There was a fender bender there at that red light that goes to I-20.
Oh, okay.
Now, that road is sometimes called many things, Highway 39, Highway 19. That's really, in my opinion, Highway 19.
Oh, you think?
They call it 39,
Yeah,
but
I would say.
few feet, you're headed to southeast. That's 19.
I feel like 39 ends at that red light looking at the Coke plant.
Yep.
Possibly.
Right up in there. That's where it
Yeah.
would end. That's Highway 45 And then you get over to Highway 19. They really who got involved in this renaming streets in our area?
I don't know. I hate to have to give directions. I am not a good direction.
That's Airport Boulevard. Now they call it Highway 19, and Highway 19 really doesn't pick up till you get to College Park, or it used to not. Lord have mercy.
You start asking me avenues and streets, I'm gonna get you lost. So.
You have to give me building.
That and main highways, main streets.
Like if I were to tell you it's over where Big Star used to be, would you know where to go?
Big Star?
Yeah,
Is
Big
that on
Star.
8th Street?
There was, no, that was
Okay, no, then I would not.
Well, actually, they did have two in Meridian.
Okay.
They did have a Big Star on 8th Street now that I bring. No, that was the IGA store, the IGA.
I'm thinking the corner across from Mr. Discount. Used to be a pet store across the road from that.
Big Star was up by the S&H green stamp by the church as you come down the hill past the old health department. Listen to me, past the old health department on the right there. Right now from Mr. Discount Drugs, if you're going downtown, it will be on your right there. It's an insurance company now. But that was Big Star. And then down there on 8th Street, what you're thinking of was IGA.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking, we used to go to that grocery store. And also we went to that pet store, like I was saying. There was a pet shop that I loved to go to. That was always a highlight for me, to be able to go in there because they had big parrots and these monkeys in the back. Yeah, it was neat.
All right, let me ask this, because I don't know the answer to this before I go into this, but it just popped in my mind. I was sitting there thinking of Point Rexall years ago. A&P, what did because that was a grocery store we used to have, what did A&P stand for?
I don't know.
Apples and potatoes? I really don't know the answer to that.
I don't know. I don't know what it stood for. I'm sure maybe it was some last names of people who started it or something. I don't know. It started with the A and a P. I don't know.
It's interesting as you go back to think about these things. More coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace. We do hope your morning is going well for you. Relatively warm, 56 right now.
I know, and kind of hazy. So, yeah.
We'll be right back.
This is Mike Rice with Mike Rice Auctions and Wholesale, coming at you live at the Ebenezer Ministries in Bailey, Mississippi. We're doing the estate sale, and it is going to be live right now on highbid.com. How you get there is go to www.mikericeauctions.hibid.com. Got a lot of office furniture, just a lot of good stuff in here. Everything you see will be for sale on www.mikericeauctions.hibid.com. That's mikericeauctions.hibid.com.
Need an expert to repair a rock peck or cracked windshield? Call Advanced Auto Glass by Joey for quality workmanship and customer service. Convenient same-day service, as well as in-house calibration for vehicle safety systems. Reliable mobile service is available in Clark, Kemper, Neshoba, Lauderdale, and Newton counties for all cars, trucks, and heavy equipment. Book your appointment today for custom tinting. It can reduce temps, fading, glare, and more. Improve the safety and enhance the appearance of your vehicle today with services from Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Spring is right around the corner, and Wilson Saw on Highway 19 North invites you by to get your equipment ready. For the do-it-yourselfer, they have all the filters and oil you'll need. Does your X-Mark need a tune-up or maybe a new set of blades? Let the professional sharpen your steel chainsaw or replace the plug. And they can get your steel weed eater running like tip-top for the spring. Whatever your need is, Wilson Saw and Outdoor Power will have you ready for spring. 71 Highway 19 North, 601-693-4100. And welcome back, Scotty Ray and Candace. And we did get some answers here to the question that I asked about A&P grocery store when it used to be here.
A lot of people have said Atlantic and Pacific. And we were thinking, how do they know that? I mean, either you are got to be Googling it, or either you need to go on Jeopardy because you're that smart.
Somebody said Ann Page. You had me hooked there for a minute there. I thought, yeah.
But we're so glad that y'all can do that to give us the answers.
The Great Atlantic and Pacific Grocery Store. Emma, thank you. You're one of the ones that knew all of that. Moved to College Park. IGA moved into the building on 8th Street and 45th Avenue, right there on the corner. Because I always call it the IGA store because we had this cousin come from California, and they went by and they go, "What's a IGA?" And so we nicknamed it IGA from then on. We all knew, but I have no idea either now. Let me just back up and say what IGA stands for.
I don't know.
Candace,
I'm not sure.
Putting you on the spot on that one there.
I don't know. I got attitude. I don't know. I don't know, but really, seriously, I remember one of those stores used to give those little green stamps.
Yeah, the S&H green stamp next to Big Star.
And you could get dishes with it or all kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
I got my first bicycle from there. It was orange, and it took years to collect all those stamps to get it.
Yeah. It was neat. A lot of people have a whole set of dishes from stuff like that.
But, if they had that shop there, you could go in and shop and see what you wanted for your... And it was a little incentive to shop with someone.
Right. And I remember people are talking about College Park.
We got a name. We got a name.
TG&Y. Do y'all remember TG&Y?
Yeah.
That was right around a couple of blocks away from my grandmother's house. And I just remember going in there. It was a neat thing. I thought that was a big deal back then.
Going down to the TGs and Ys.
Yeah. I wouldn't have known what to do in like the big, which we had Village Fair Mall.
Had a fountain and all. We all wanted to go in there and swim. I know y'all did. Don't be acting like you didn't.
Fountain. Who didn't throw a penny up in that fountain? Many times, yeah.
International Grocery Association was what the IGA store was.
Okay.
Now, I don't know that even any of those exist anymore. That may be a thing of history that is gone.
Mm-hmm. If y'all are just joining us, we're reminiscing.
A few old grocery stores, we did have those. And Gaylord's is gone. Of course, that's now where everything happens at the crossroads. But that was Gaylord's with a mobile home park, mobile home sales place next to it for many years. And then Kmart came there.
No, am I wrong? There was a grocery store that had 2 cows up on the roof that mooed. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's Sack and Save.
Yeah, okay. I thought that.
Yeah, sure did. I saw a blink there for just a second. I hope
We're brighter now, aren't we?
Yeah, something went on there. I don't know what it was all about there. So we hope all is well.
Yep. Yes.
If we lose you, we'll be back as quick as we possibly can.
That's right.
But the cows, that was back in the days when it was called Sack and Save, pre what it is now. The bulls on the corner, and they always mooed.
Yeah, it was neat.
That
Fancy.
Sure was. That was down there back behind the Ponderosa Steakhouse.
Yeah.
So I'll leave all that behind. We did have a fender bender yesterday as we look around at a few things that happened there. And this is going to be out by the airport. If you'll notice there, whoops. And there it was. Traffic delayed for just a little bit as the Meridian Police Department arrived on the scene to help out there for a little while. Yesterday, overall, we'll have to give it a B. Not anything horrible really went on yesterday, and that's good news.
That is good.
Little Anne Murray in the background there. A little good news today. I did get a note from the Meridian Police Department yesterday, and I've got a call into them to find out more about this. I shared the story last night of what they sent to us, and let me see if I can get this to work correctly here. Let me move over here and pull this up. We posted this story here of the gunshot victim that happened yesterday. Now, I mentioned yesterday that we had 2 attempted suicides in the area that I thought that had or a gunshot accidental shooting to themselves. And I normally don't go into a lot of details with those because it was an accident and we don't know a lot about that. And I thought this is what this was. But as we get this from the Meridian Police Department, they're investigating a Monday night shooting of a 17-year-old who was shot in the head. According to MPD Detective Shanetta Stevens, dispatch or 911 received a call at 8:14 regarding the shooting at 2200 block of 30th Avenue. The youth was airlifted to Jackson. She said no arrests have been made. And I actually had the address about 8 blocks away. So I've got several questions on this. Was it accidental? Is there more about this that we didn't know? So whoever this young man is, whatever the case is, he needs a lot of prayer. To be airlifted out with a gunshot wound to there is not good.
Goodness.
Hopefully we will find out more about this and we'll get a call back from MPD as we learn a little bit more about that also.
Yeah. Prayers for his family, too.
Oh, yeah.
They're worried sick
Regardless of the situation.
Yeah.
Now, we were about a day ahead on this as we got a picture as we go back to the 2 robberies that we had in Meridian. To our knowledge, they are 2 separate occasions, 2 different incidents that have nothing to do with one another. They just happened to happen within an hour and a half of each other and have a lot of similarities of what went on. As we got the picture from the store owners, we posted that. And last night we got a updated picture from MPD. And it's got a name with it now. Let's pull this up. This is the gentleman, and let me go back here and manually do it this way. Who is wanted. His name is Travis Burkes. And the way the Meridian Police Department worded it, he is wanted for questioning. I'm not going to question how they word things, but that's how they put that out. He's also known, his street name is known as Knowledge. So if you know where Mr. Knowledge Travis Burkes may be, give the MPD a call or call Crime Stoppers they'd love to have a little talk with him to find out more about this. Now, fortunately, no one was hurt in any of these incidents.
Thank goodness.
We have not received any information regarding the bank robbery, and I've seen several people post about their mom or dad was in the bank when it happened. And thank goodness nothing. That has to be scary, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, because somebody, you do something like that, you're not totally stable in my mind. I mean, I wouldn't think. So, yeah, when you're dealing with somebody like that and it's holding a gun, you never know.
And it may be plenty of y'all that are watching right now that have gone through an armed robbery and been in a building you always hear people say, well, I would do this, I would do that.
Yeah.
What really went on?
Right. And, one time I had a client that several years back had walked out to her vehicle. She worked at a business in town. And somebody held her at gunpoint, walked her back in the business, and was like holding her at gunpoint. So that was very scary,
so
for her.
A lot of people have gone through it. I'm sure that others will in their lives, but it has to make your heart go skip a beat there. As Denise said, she used her last S&H green stamps in 1982 to get some baby spoons for her son. Randy Travis, 1982. And that's where we are on that, as we got the latest from the Meridian Police Department on that. We hope to get more information on the other robbery. As we brought up the bank that happened in broad daylight, we will pass along that information as soon as we get that also. A few other things, high speed. Let me show you these pictures if I've still got them. Dark Horse Press. Yes. As we all know how car chases happen. I brought this up this morning to where, you remember in Jackson where the postal worker got killed?
Yes.
Running from the police.
There was a teenage girl killed not long ago. There were 2 teenage girls.
Now, this gentleman is in bad shape. This happened in Jones County. And if you're going, okay, I've heard of Jones County. I don't know where it is. It's south of here near Hattiesburg. Laurel, Hattiesburg area is where this is. They passed a teenager driving a car, Mustang, clocking in at about 110. He sped up to about 120. He took an off-ramp. He lost control of the vehicle. And let me just show you what it looks like when you lose control of a car at 120 miles an hour. That's rough there. That was where you would get in the car. Now, he was rushed to the hospital, critical condition, alive but in critical condition. And we say all of this, don't run from the police. It's not worth your life. A big thank you. Here's another angle of that car. Let me show you all this. Look at that. That was a Mustang.
Yeah.
Look how hard it hit that post there.
Yeah, somebody was definitely watching over him.
Yeah.
God was. I mean, definitely.
You might not have been doing what you were supposed to be doing, but God was still looking out for you.
Maybe he'll have a different outlook after this. I hope he's going to be okay, but
let's hope so.
That's scary.
We look at this happened, and wouldn't you just hate to be the guy and have to call your supervisor and go, I got an issue?
Yeah.
Warren County, which is Vicksburg, Mississippi, there are areas where there's not a bridge, and sometimes you have to take a ferry to get where you're going. He done that right up until the time his work truck fell off, went right off in the river. He had to call his boss and say, I lost my truck. It's 40 or 50 feet down there.
So I wonder, did he not put on some kind of a brake and it just rolled off, or wasn't on there good?
Well, that's exactly what they said. We don't know, but we're launching an investigation to find out whether he didn't do that, put it in gear, or if it was a malfunction of some sort, mechanically beyond his control. Right. Most of the time, who hadn't done this? You'll be on the phone talking, somebody calls you, and you turn the vehicle off and forget to put it in park. I've done that.
I've done that too. I don't even have to be on the phone.
It could happen.
I've done that, yeah.
Now, I'm not accusing whoever did this of that. I'm just saying I have been there before in a pasture and done that.
Yeah.
You ever chased a car?
Have I chased one?
Yeah, when you get out and it goes, swoop.
Oh.
If you,
no.
When was that when I posted a video from somewhere in the county? Somebody had lost their car. They got out and it went across a pasture. They were hoofing it trying to catch it.
Oh, yeah. And then you got ran over almost. It was dragging him across the thing. No, I've not left one in gear and it start rolling. That's scary. But my vehicle now will ding if when you don't have it in park. After you cut the key off, it'll ding until you do. So.
Yeah, and Roy was saying he wanted clarification on that. The mail carrier was killed by a person running from the police who should have stopped.
Right.
And I'm not sure how I worded it a minute ago, but that's what went on with that. And that was Jackson, Mississippi. And you back out and look at the big picture of this. Yeah, the wreck happened. Everybody else has gone on with their lives. Well, not his family.
Yeah.
They're still missing the breadwinner of that family that was putting the kids through college, a husband, somebody's son. There's so many lives that get affected by minute things.
Yeah, it's scary when somebody does something like that because they're not thinking clearly. That adrenaline is pumping, and it's like a tunnel vision, I would think.
Now, our next thing that happened in the state of Mississippi, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I don't want you to think bad of me. But let's just say that you're at a local motel, Candace. You're sitting there and you think, well, it's time for me to go. Let me just borrow the keys to this a moment. And, I'm going to leave this dead body behind.
Oh.
Well, they're looking for a lady, not saying that she's guilty of anything, but she did leave a hotel in a car that was not hers with a dead body behind. Jackson County, Mississippi, that'd be on the coast, is what they're looking for. Humma.
That's smart. Yeah.
Now, she could have been in a rush. She could have had a heart attack going, baby, don't leave me. I'm taking your truck by. That could have happened. We don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying there's a truck missing and a dead body.
And they know for sure it belonged to the...
No, I didn't say that either.
Oh, we don't know that. Okay.
They didn't give that detailed information. They just said that the truck was stolen and a body was there. Where is Murder, She Wrote when you need the crime solved?
That's right.
She could do it in 30 minutes and know exactly who did it.
She could.
Teensy says that her mama and daughter was in a bank when they were robbed. They put a gun in their face and they had to get into the vault and lay down. That was back in 1977. Can you imagine your heart? That would...
Gosh.
Folks?
Yeah, that would be scary.
I tell you, that guy named Shad White has been busy. If y'all remember, what was this, 6-7 months ago, the Hinds County Election Commissioner? Y'all remember when that was all brought up? Several of them tied to that, buying TVs and this, that, and the other. Finally went to court. She admitted to guilt and found guilty.
Of embezzlement.
Yeah, about $25,000 worth. Having products shipped to the home and then bought large screen TVs and then went and bought small TVs and put in the place of the ones that were supposed to be at work. And there were several people tied in with that. I would expect more to come out of this. Shad White, always on the job. And as we said yesterday, shockingly is going to seek re-election for that job instead of a hire.
Maybe he thinks his job's not quite done. He has other people to catch. I don't know.
I think he does.
Yeah. But these people who do this like embezzlement type stuff, stealing from companies they work for and just different, I don't understand what is going through their mind. I mean, at some point it's going to catch up with you.
Well, you'd have to live with the fear.
I mean, why? It takes a different type person to do that. Like when I was growing up, I mean, we didn't even pick up change around the house that wasn't ours. I mean, it's just, but these, I don't know.
I bet Kurt wishes that story was still true.
They ain't gonna do it again.
Lay his wallet down, come in, have $5 left to eat off of. There ain't a husband around that gets to work and he reaches in his pocket and goes.
No, my stomach is growling. Y'all probably hear it. No, I don't go into Kurt's wallet. He, don't go in my. I mean, but no, he will say, "You got cash stashed back that I don't know."
Oh, I ain't gonna lie.
I know Kurt does. He has his little money put in his wallet.
Look, if I need something, I'm digging in that big purse that's got everything in it over yonder. If I need it from her, I'm going after it. I'll tell her I got it, but if I got to have it, I got to have it.
Lord.
It usually is the other way around. I got $10 hid and she wants it.
Who doesn't throw change? Let's move to this. I know we got to move on. Change, ladies. You don't want to take the time to stick it in a wallet or whatever. You just pitch it in your little console.
Oh, you talking about like change or dollars?
Loose coins of change. So yesterday we were digging that out of my car. I kid you not,
How much?
gallon size Ziploc bag was like halfway full of change.
Really?
Mostly quarters. There's no telling how much was in there. So he's like, I cannot believe all this change. But I mean, I do. I just pitch it in there when you have change from something.
I had a former IGA employee tell me it's Independent Groceries Alliance.
Okay.
Pretty big name there.
I would shorten that to IGA.
Yeah, that works a whole
Where
lot
do you
better.
get your grocery? Oh, I got an independent grocery line.
And they go, I forget what that big. I went to Texas about 10 years ago, and for the life of me, I can't remember, but they're huge out there. They got it's a whole different world in Texas. Let me just warn y'all. Already 8:29 with Scotty Ray and Candace as we begin this day for you. What is today? Wednesday, am I right?
It is Wednesday.
Midweek. I do hope y'all been good. So it's a halfway there, headed toward the weekend.
That's
it looks like we're going to have warm weather. We'll tell you about some severe weather in just a moment. We'll check that next. Scotty Ray and Candace. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. Florida strawberries, a 1-pound package, $3.59. Red or white onions, 99 cents a pound. Fresh blueberries, $2.99 each. A 3-pound bag of Halos or Chief ribeye steaks, $13.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Jackson Flowers has settled into their new location on Highway 19 North and is still offering the same great products and services you and your family have grown accustomed to over the past 60 years. Jackson Flowers is pleased to offer their after Christmas sale on many items found in their gift shop. Don't forget, they offer floral arrangements, live, along with all of their fashionable decor for your home or office. Visit Jackson Flowers, now located 2 miles north of Walmart on Highway 19 North. Jackson Flowers, for all occasions.
Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
Interstate Auto, conveniently located right down from IHOP on North Frontage Road in Meridian, has a large selection of late model cars, trucks, and SUVs in inventory. Maybe you like the looks of a sporty Ram truck or the more fuel-efficient Toyota Tacoma and Highlander, or even a Ford Explorer. If you're a truck fan, you must check out their selection of Ford and Chevy pickups. If your family requires extra space, check out their selection of minivans and sedans. And remember, all roads lead to Interstate Auto, 802 North Frontage Road in Meridian.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace, 8:30 this morning. Let's talk about what's going to go on tomorrow. There is a chance of severe weather. Now, Mississippi not looking so bad at this point. As we will get some storms, but not near as bad as our neighbors to the east, which will be West Alabama. Let's take a look at this. Let me pull this up where y'all can see what I'm looking at from the National Weather Service after I find the correct button. Here we go. Storms will build on the Mississippi side. Now, we could have some strong thunderstorm activity, rain coming down. Tornado cannot be ruled out, but most likely this stuff will build here and then move east into Bama. Now, our timeline is 8-1 is what the National Weather Service has given us, and we are going to have some strong winds. If we'll look at this, say Kemper County due north all the way to North Mississippi, including Philadelphia, Kosciuszko, and if you're watching us over here to the west, right over around Leake, in these areas, you're going to have some wind. Due south, anything south of I-20 won't be so bad. Yeah. Now, let's look at Alabama. The entire state of Alabama, pretty much under a level 2. Which means you can have damaging winds of 60 miles an hour. I said that wrong, with tornadoes. So we will watch this, and that timeline for y'all is roughly 9 to noon as we get into Choctaw, Butler, these areas. We'll be here for you behind the scenes watching the weather tomorrow to make sure it doesn't sneak up on you in any kind of way. Yeah. We don't want that to happen.
And as we were talking about the winds, that can cause trees that are, have weakened limbs or if they're weak at the base where it's been a lot of rain, they can fall. So just be extra careful. Very, very.
Let's take a step back in time and look at a few things that happened on history. You brought up this guy, I don't know, a few weeks ago when he passed away, but he was born on this day. Let me find the proper button to get over here to. Anybody remember this guy from Heart to Heart? Lionel Stander was his name. He was the chauffeur.
Okay.
Yeah, done a pretty good job there. Mm-hmm. But he was born on this date back in 1908. If you watch Heart to Heart, Jonathan Hart. She was a pretty lovely lady.
Robert Wagner, isn't that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Was he still alive?
Yeah, Robert Wagner's still alive.
They're both still alive.
Yeah, Stephanie's still a beautiful woman.
Stephanie Powers. Yeah, she was very pretty. Mm-hmm.
He is not. Naomi was born on this date in 1946. Anybody remember Naomi?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1946 is when she was born.
Lost her, it had been less than a year ago.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Again, a suicide situation
That was
there.
sad, very sad.
1960, and everybody thought it was about their town. Is what made this song such a hit. He'd start out, and anybody remember "Put Away on My J-Pan Fan"? I'm talking about Johnny Cash and June as they recorded today, Jackson.
Going to Jackson.
That was a great song. It
Yeah.
truly was.
Yeah, that was a good song.
Turn Loose of My Coat.
Yeah. Did you see the movie Walk the Line?
Yes, it was good.
Yeah. Reese Witherspoon and I think in the who?
Yeah, in Phoenix.
Yeah, in Phoenix.
Joaquin.
Phoenix. They did a good job.
And I still go, why was Elvis after her? Mysteries that I will never know.
I don't know.
As Luana says, a beautiful lady.
Yeah, she reminded me. She and Loretta Lynn looked like they could have been sisters.
Could be.
They looked a lot alike to me.
Let's see, as we go back, also 1983, Where Were You When I Could Have Loved You? Songs like that were coming out. Last One to Know, You Came Along, One Promise Too Late. And we also had a number one on this day coming from Reba, the redhead out of Oklahoma. Anybody remember the song, I Can't Even Get the Blues? Number one today for Reba McEntire. And she is kind of like a George Strait, who has stood the test of time with everything that has come along. There's always Reba when you think of country music.
Yeah.
Very few of those.
She's got a new love interest, I think, that she, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? Who is it?
He's an actor. I think he's some kind of actor. He's acted in some different movies and
I
stuff.
didn't even know about that one.
Yeah. I can't remember what his name is, but just
Well,
look it up.
I'm a learning. 1964, we would learn that this may not be good for you. Most Americans didn't pay it any attention, though. They kept right on going. It would be probably 2000 before people started going, well, maybe you're right. The Surgeon General told us in 1964 that cigarette smoking ain't good for you. Made them stamp it on the carton.
Yeah.
It was overlooked.
Yeah.
But it was
a lot of
the-
things are hazardous to your health, though.
But,
I never did smoke.
I did. I'm not
a lot
going
of
to
people
lie.
did. I mean, my parents.
I got hooked on it in radio.
Yeah.
But it was, if you go back and really look at the movies, made it a romantic thing.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
everybody did it.
Well, I remember back when I was a kid, my mother was a hairstylist, and you could go up in the beauty shop and everybody be smoking up in the beauty shop. I mean, it was just
Hospitals
everywhere. Yeah.
hospitals had ashtrays.
I mean, but lots of things are hazardous to your health.
Yeah.
All these drugs that they advertise on TV. If you listen to the fine print that they read off.
You make you not want to take anything.
Yeah.
And then you get really confused if someone who has smoked all their life, it doesn't do anything to them. Then you take someone who's never smoked that dies of lung cancer. I don't understand cancer, period. I
Right.
truly don't. It is a very dangerous disease that
It is.
I'm not sure we'll ever know the true story of how to stop that stuff.
That's right. I wish they could.
Can you do
It is
this
an
in a
awful
group at a
thing.
party? I'm sure you went to a party where somebody started in this corner, started singing Louie, 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 Louie. Y'all remember that? It happened to be the number one song today, if I'm not mistaken. 1964 was the year. I wouldn't know about this song until I watched Animal House. Did you watch that?
I was just fixing to say, wasn't that song in Animal House? I did.
That was a great song.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all liked it as much as I did, but it was fun to hum along with and listen to. I sure liked it. Yeah, another blue.
Look, talking about things being not good for you, I was listening to the news yesterday morning, and they were talking about sweet drinks were more likely to, a percentage that it was, make you go bald. And coffee and tea, you're 40-something% more likely to lose your hair, is what they said, if you drink a lot of coffee and tea. So
so-
we're frozen. I'll say.
Yeah, something happened weird there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get that one back.
Looks-
I don't think that is working correctly. What we got?
Somebody was saying that, and I do remember the Andy Griffith show. Even he smoked. He smoked on there.
Yeah, it sure
Yeah.
did. I saw an episode where he was getting on Opie the other night, and he got so bent out of shape, he come down and had him a smoke and thought
Yeah.
about what he did. And you think about this. You ever told your kid something? And this is what the episode was about. What I really, and I know I'm getting off beat, but it had a lot of meaning to it. You ever told your kid to do something and you can't prove it to them, but you tell your child, believe in me, I know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it was
like I've been there, I've done that.
Yeah, and you can't
I know you
prove
think
it.
I'm stupid, but
But Opie had this imaginary friend that Andy thought it was a guy that walked through trees.
yes.
And
What they called him, the
tree walker or something.
it was
like that.
something, the metal man.
Yeah, and he was wearing a hard hat. And Andy was saying, "You admit to me you've made this up," and Opie wouldn't do it.
Right.
And at the end of the episode, he finally sees the guy. It was a guy that climbed light poles with a hard hat on.
Yeah.
And
he'd given him he gave him a coin of
Yeah.
some kind. I think, didn't he give him a knife or something? He gave him 2 different gifts. And he showed up with these gifts, and Andy was like, "Where'd you get that?" Just trying to make sure he didn't take it from somebody.
And at the end of the show, when he come down and he had that smoke, he was talking about, if I tell him to believe in me, I have to believe in him even when I can't see the truth. And that's sometimes you do. A little thing called God.
Right.
It's all about belief. 1969, it peaked at number 5. You would think that this was a huge number 1, but it wasn't. Anybody remember the song by this old boy? As we look at that and remember, Hooked on a Feeling.
Yeah.
B.J. Thomas.
How believe.
Yeah, but it only made it to number 5. I thought that was like forever number 1.
Well, it's been used a whole lot.
Yeah.
In different areas. So
1982. Anybody remember John Boy?
I remember him. Yeah.
He made the cover of a magazine back in 1982, and it was called People with his triplets. I didn't even know John Boy had triplets.
I didn't either. I don't remember that, but looks like that would have been something you would remember.
And he has one of those distinctive voices that you recognize anywhere. I liked John Boy.
Yeah.
1980, no. Let me back up. 2007, insurance companies didn't have a good day today. This was the day that they ruled that they were responsible. If you remember, there was some lawsuits that happened over Katrina to where they said, well, that was water, so it's not covered.
Right.
The courts ruled that they would have to pay on this date back in 2007 over this issue. And that was a huge case in the United States, if everybody remembers that.
Yeah. And now some insurance policy, a lot of people will get their insurance policies, in the mail after they've renewed or whatever, and they don't really look at them. It will pay to look at those.
Read your stuff.
Yeah. It'll pay to go through the fine print, because I know
It's
I've
like
seen
even
people.
if you've got, what do you call it, just the liability, see how much you're insured in case you were to hit a car that cost a lot more
Yeah.
because you'd still be held liable if you're not.
Because I know after Katrina and after different things, there were certain people who had the thing in their policies where it says that it would not be covered for named storms, is what one of the things said. Named storms.
Wow.
So, which would be a hurricane or a tropical storm, I would imagine.
Right.
Because they are named, but anyway.
Yeah. Okay. We had an issue there, and I hope we can limp along for this last 18 minutes. We'll be right back as I track down something and try to make this happen. We'll be right back, I think. I'm doing this the old-fashioned way here as I scroll down.
Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, you got a lot of patience with me today.
It's okay. You can't help it. I know it's stressful. Goodness. So, but yeah, we do hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Hope we've made you laugh once or twice. Yeah.
I don't know where this went, Candace.
Okay.
I'm looking for it. Let's see here. I'm going to go this route, and we'll be right back.
I'm Chris Bullock, and I'm a candidate for Lauderdale County District 1 Supervisor. One of the reasons I'm running is I absolutely love this community and care about our people. I have the experience and leadership skills necessary to provide a professional service to every resident. I have a record of serving this community since I was 15 years old. It's time for fresh ideas under a new generation of leadership. I ask for your prayers, and I ask for your support.
Paid Political by friends of Chris Bullock.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install, or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. As we're looking at this, the FAA has just lifted the grounded order for the flights.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah. But still, I know people are going to be, waiting for a while for their flights. And this morning, as of this morning, there was a guy they were talking to, could not tell them, like, if, let's say you had a first morning flight and it was held up, they weren't sure exactly if you were going to be first in line to be able to take a flight over somebody else or not, because it would depend on where you're going and how long your flight was supposed to be.
Oh, have mercy.
So I take it it's going to be a big mess. Not to mention all the luggage that was already checked in and waiting to go and all that. Oh, my goodness.
What will people do?
Yeah. Hopefully they'll have a whole lot of patience is all I know. But they were asking the question this morning also, how much money do you think has been affected by this? Well, people trying to get to interviews, people doing, getting to different
There's no
things
telling,
with
is
work
it?
and jobs and stuff that's being shipped, that they're waiting on that could be, time, dire that it gets there on time. But let's just hope that when everything does kick back into place, that it's safe flights everywhere. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Did you see this yesterday? Where it's just humorous from time to time. Whether you're in love with President Biden or not, maybe you're against him. Maybe he's your favorite president that you watch. Where he got confused again. Did you see this?
Yes. Yeah, he confused the Salvation Army with, what was it?
A colonel, I think, is what he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
He confused him for a Secret Service agent.
Yeah.
He was asking him where to go, more or less, and, well, that's not what he does. He did tell him that he one time helped the Secret Service, and he knew him.
Yeah. I saw, though, during that where Biden was yesterday, somebody, one of the press conference people, the media people, had asked him about the documents that were found in his office.
Yeah, how'd that go over?
Well, he did admit, there was documents found in there. But I'm not sure why they were there or what they were. I wasn't sure, I was like he was surprised. So.
Good answer, as they would say on...
yeah, but he said that he had been informed by his lawyer that he did not need to ask what the documents were. And then there was a guy this morning that kind of had a contradiction to that, saying, I don't know why it would be that a lawyer would tell you that. I mean, why? I don't know. It's a mess.
Covering a lot of bases.
I think
now,
it's going to be a double standard, though, for sure.
This is one of those few times where people actually do what they say they're going to. As we look at, as the new House takes over by one person, they have officially abolished the IRS. Those 87,000. If y'all are familiar with, they're going to tote guns and really start coming after that $600.
Yeah. And, I'm glad they got rid of that. Of course, the Democrats are pushing back, saying they're not going to let that go, that they're going to push for it to stay in place.
I don't think most Americans want that.
I mean, why would you want that? I mean, that to me, that's just, like I said yesterday, just like an overkill type thing, with it.
Just
There's
keep in
lots
mind.
of other things that we need to be putting money into.
Have we learned any more, and as we pull this up, am I understanding that it was possibly a heart attack, the diamond and silk?
I don't know. I was looking, yesterday I was trying to look that up, and if I'm not mistaken, just like 3 days ago, they made a video, and she seemed fine on the video that I watched. So it could have been something like a heart attack.
Only 51 years old.
That's just tragic, though. And you can imagine and her name actually her real name was not Diamond. It gave her real name. But,
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, so keep that in your thoughts there, and it makes you wonder, will Silk continue? That's her stage name.
They were sisters, right?
Yeah, they were.
That's so awful, though. She was so outgoing. She stood up for conservative values. She was a big Trump supporter, though.
She was.
She really was. And so she backed him a lot. I know she'll be missed.
I'm not sure where this will go, but you have to put yourself in this place. A homeowner, this is Washington, D.C. is where we're going to go to this. Mm-hmm. A homeowner wakes up, somebody's breaking in his car. Like we talked about in the Stonewall area, people breaking in cars. He sees somebody breaking in the car. He grabs his gun. He stops them. It ends up being a 13-year-old. Tragedy, but he was protecting his property. And the community is outraged at the gentleman, and they're wanting to know the address, and they have not released all that, and they will go after this guy. You had somebody doing wrong. I hate that it happened.
Yeah. I hate that happened too. But,
Let's look at Texas. They're looking at now the guy that took the bad guy out of the restaurant that was robbing it. They're thinking of pressing charges.
See, that's what I was afraid of. But, this could have been a 13-year-old breaking into somebody's, in their home, not just into a vehicle, because he was breaking into a vehicle, right?
Yeah, but that's where they are on that.
Yeah, but what if it was somebody that was breaking in your home in the middle of the night? Are you going to sit there and go, hey, how old are you?
You
you're not
can't.
going to. It's an awful, tragic thing, but, you have to think about your family.
And it really puts you in the perspective of being what the police are faced with every day.
Yeah.
You don't know who's on the other side of that. You truly don't.
Or if they have a gun.
Yeah.
Wanting to do you harm. It's scary.
Do you remember, and we're going to talk about this in just a second, do you remember Daisy Duke, the original portion of the Dukes of Hazzard before she got the Jeep, the yellow car that she used to drive?
Yeah.
We're going to tell you about a car that's worth millions. We'll tell you about that next. Scotty Ray and Candace says, well, we start this gorgeous day for you here. What is it? Already Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. This moved again.
Middle of the week. Yeah. It's the middle of the week. Can't wait for the weekend to get here. Just
Yeah, it's close. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Your next Maytag or Whirlpool appliance is waiting on you at All Temp Appliance and Refrigeration on Highway 19 North. If you've been trying to locate a freezer, stop by and see their big selection of upright and chest freezers, a showroom full of stoves, gas, and electric. Maybe it's a new refrigerator from large double doors to the simplest of refrigerators. Name brand washers and dryers like Speed Queen and Amana. And delivery is available with a great service department to back up what they sell. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and by appointment after hours and weekends.
Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 invites you by to take a look at a brand new product they've got. Odes, ATVs, and UTVs. These side-by-sides range from 800 to 1,000 cc's, and they come with heat or air. Whether you're doing work around the farm or hunting, they've got the unit just for you to keep warm or cool, depending upon that Mississippi and Alabama day. Swing by for a test drive today at Freeman Tractor. See coleslaw, buttermilk, and don't forget you can meet their newest employee, Eggplant. That's Freeman Tractor, Highway 494.
Have you been hurt on the job? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Know your rights when it comes to the workplace injuries. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, daybeds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we head toward the top of the hour. I brought up the car, and y'all all remember where it accidentally in the Dukes of Hazzard goes off the edge of the cliff. Somebody gives her a new Jeep. But that was a Dodge Challenger, if you remember. Back in the 1970s, and I really didn't know about this until I started reading this. This car is going up for auction. It is known as the Black Ghost. And you go, well, why is it called that? Well, it was Street Racer. He would show up for races, and he would win and then quickly disappear. Well, it turns out there was a reason that this guy was disappeared. He was a Chicago PD officer. He would go out and drag race, which was illegal, win the races, and then disappear. It's like history in the town of the car. He was never caught. He ended up being an Army vet, decorated, Purple Heart. He told his son right before, and his son goes, I remember riding in the car, and he was kept in a garage thereafter. And until he got ready to pass away, it was not known. He passed away in 2015. The car is up for auction now. They're expecting it to go for millions.
Oh, goodness.
This car is iconic when it comes to that. It's been placed in the Library of Congress of National Historic Vehicle Registry. Impressive, I might say.
His son's like, my daddy was the Black Ghost.
There it is. Look at this car. Let me pull this up where you can take a look at this. This is all too neat. That's the car that will be sold for millions at auction.
Yeah.
It had to have won a lot of races. I haven't dug into.
Car.
Yeah. That was muscle power is what that was back when they used to do that. I found that interesting. I thought y'all might as well.
Yeah. Lots of people used to, well, they still do drag race, you know, but.
Well, the big place in Meridian, correct me if I'm wrong, you were probably involved in this. I'm going to call Candace out on it. Chandler Road was where everybody used to go do it. Y'all saw that, didn't you?
Yeah, there's two places that were well known for drag racing.
She didn't have anything to do with it, but she can sure tell us what it was.
I didn't. I mean, I was probably, I never went to drag races or anything, but I always, and you could hear one of these, King Road, the long stretch on King Road before you get up to North Hills there. Yeah, that was a big drag racing stretch right there too. And we could hear that, like you could hear them in the distance because we lived on a little side road off from there. But yeah, it was always exciting to watch on TV when I would see it. But I'm sure it was even better when you were there. But
they even done that.
Or
what was
fun
it?
When you were doing it.
Yeah, a lot of people enjoyed that. Are y'all paying attention to a situation of a mother that went missing and the husband goes, well, I don't know anything?
Yeah. It's just gradually more and more information coming in.
They are finding all types of things like blood, a hatchet, a hacksaw, a rug, and all of that material that was cleaned in the house, and now they're searching landfills. You hate to...
you'd think blood, they would be able to test that.
Yeah, and they will, I'm sure.
You know, but that's awful. Yeah, he had bought tape and tarps, and so you can only imagine. I mean, it's awful.
Yeah,
awful for her poor mother that's sitting here having to go through all this, not knowing what has happened to her child. I mean, because I don't care at any age. I don't care if they're grown or.
Yeah, it's still your baby.
It's still your baby. Yeah.
So we'll watch that story. I'm sure that there's more to come with that as it comes along there.
Well, it's looking like we're going to have to listen about the Donald Trump January 6th a little bit more because now a judge has said that he may have been urging people to do something more than just protest, which I believe, and I think that with all these document type things, I think now that something's been found on the other side, I think they just are kind of losing, momentum there, and they're going to really dig into this even more.
That is coming.
It's just who's tired of hearing about January?
It just goes on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
As we look at that. Coming up toward the top of the hour, this has been a good morning, and we want to say thank you all for joining us as we do this. And don't forget, we have the chance of severe weather tomorrow, and we're going to be monitoring it from behind the scenes. We'll be live here on Facebook, YouTube, at all times when there's a chance of severity. Should it turn bad, we'll join television as well, but we will be watching this and go live here. Make sure to join us. Follow the channel, whether you want to get us on YouTube or you follow us on Facebook.
Yes.
That's about it for us today.
It is. We hope y'all have a wonderful day and be a blessing to somebody else today.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: